Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the very first story of my nail tech diaries. I am glad you are all here and listening to my stories, and I hope you enjoy this nail set as well. Before I get into the story, I just wanted to do a quick review of what I am using. So I'm using the Valentino Beauty Pures acrylic system in the color Pure Silk, and then I'm using the Young Nails Monomer Young Nails Craig Brush number 12, I believe it is. And then at the end of the video, I'll be using the neon colored pigments from Profiles Backstage. And yeah, let's get into the story. Okay, so for today's story is a personal experience, and because of this is my first story, and also because I'm still learning all of the new tips and tricks and nail art and all of that thing, I thought this story would be fun to share and a good one to share at that, especially if you are a new nail tech out there in the world. So this all started when I started in my new salon. And the salon that I worked for was absolutely amazing. I loved the owner. I loved the manager. I learned a lot of new things from them. So at the time period of this lady's nails, I'd only been at the salon for maybe 2 months, maybe like a month and a half. And she called over the phone and she needed someone in ASAP. So they had finally opened my books to do acrylics, and I was the only one that had that spot available that she needed, probably because I was new and I didn't have a full list of clientele yet. So they let her know that she's new, she might take a little bit extra, but she does a great job. And so the lady was totally fine with it. And whenever she came in for her appointment, we hit it off right away. She was super nice. We were talking the whole time. And I did just let her know again, they did tell you that I was newer here, so I do take a little bit longer, so don't expect to be out here with a full fill and designed in an hour, because it's going to take a lot longer than an hour. And she's like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. They let me know. So anyways, I do want to say really quick before I continue going is typically, so in the salon's policy and my policy now, we don't fill over another tech's work, and that just protects you doing the nails that you're currently working on, especially if there were issues with the acrylic before that weren't noticed yet. A client could come back with a greenie or with breaks or with tears, or the structure of the nail just isn't the best. That's because not all products bond and adhere together, and you cannot always expect your client to let you know what products that previous tech was using unless you know who it is and you know the products that they use. So just a little advice, don't ever fill over another tech's work unless you know the tech, you trust the tech's work, and you guys use similar or same products. So anyways, they let her know that typically we don't do this, but because, the situation that she was in, we would go ahead and do that for her, and because she's getting a new nail tech, that would be okay. So I started taking down, and the tech that she worked on before had 9 years experience. This lady had been going to her for 4 years, but she was getting ready to go on vacation, and the lady that typically does her nails was out sick or maternity leave or something like that, so she wasn't able to do this girl's nails before she went on vacation. So here we are. So like I said, we had a good conversation. Everything worked out. When it came down to polishing, she chose a polish by Valentino that was super translucent, super sheer. It's a really, really beautiful color, but I had used it on 4 or 5 clients prior to her, and they all had the same comment, which was it wasn't dark enough, or it was still too sheer for them. So I just let her know, this is a very sheer, translucent color. If you're looking for full coverage, this isn't the color for you. We could do a color underneath and then do this color on top, but she just wanted the color itself. So I do the 2 coats of color, and like I suspected, it's not dark enough for her, so I do 2 more coats. And as a new nail tech, when it comes to polishing as well, you do still take a little bit longer because you're just trying to be as precise and clean as possible. So polishing alone, it took me 45 minutes, and I wasn't complaining. I was happy that I was there doing acrylic. She didn't seem too upset about it, and because I explained it to her. So anyways, we do the 4 coats, and then it comes down to the nail art. She wants daisies on every single one of her fingers, and one of the mistakes that I made is I would do 2 to 3 fingers of nail art, and before I would cure them in the light, instead of doing like one flower cure, which saves a lot of time to do it that way. But I thought that I would just do like 3 fingers, cure them, 3 fingers to get it done faster, which did not make it any faster. And the colors started to bleed together. So it wasn't the flowers were still cute, and you could still, they were flowers, but they didn't look like they looked when I first painted them on there. So anyway, she leaves, she likes them. So she says, she comes back the next day and she's like, I hate this purple. I cannot do this purple. She's like, it's too translucent. It's just not what I thought. It doesn't look good on my skin tone. So I want to change it. So we took the 4 layers of purple off, and then she was like, the acrylic is also too thick for my liking. So I took the acrylic down more. I took all the purple off and we redid them. We redid a new design. She picked like a pink or something like that. And I think she picked a more simple design also. And then at the end of that, she tipped me. We didn't charge her because it was like the next day and whatever. So we didn't charge her. And she tipped me $10. And as she's standing up, she's like, and I just want to let you know that I probably won't be back. She's like, I think you do a great job, but you're just not the nail tech for me. You're not quite there yet where I need you to be my nail tech. I appreciate you taking the time to do my nails, but I can't sit here for 3 hours to get my nails done. And as she's explaining this to me, I'm like literally biting my cheek because I want to cry. Like, I'm so heartbroken and I'm so offended. And I was like, well, you knew that I was new. Why did you know what I mean? Like, I just was trying to make excuses for myself. But then after coming home and talking to my husband and kind of just thinking about it more, I did realize that I am not always going to be the nail tech for everybody. I'm not always going to be able to do these crazy Instagram nails, especially the nail art. And still to this day, I'm still learning nail art. Like, I still have a long ways to go with nail art. And so I think it was a really good lesson and a really good eye-opener to just realize that I'm not always going to be that person for everybody. And I'm not always going to have a 10-10 experience with every client that I have, especially in a salon setting and especially in a booth rental. So I took it as a lesson and I still use it to this day. So I think that's a really great lesson for all of the new nail techs out there as well. Like, just always be able to take constructive criticism. Never ever bash a client who's telling you how they personally feel with your nail art or the time that you're taking. Just take that as constructive criticism and work on it. Really sit back and focus, like, okay, this is where I went wrong. This is what I did. Because if you can't take constructive criticism and you turn around and you bash your client or you talk about them about, you know, how they were as a client to make yourself feel better at the fact that they didn't like your nails, that's not going to make a good nail tech. And you're just setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for lots of issues in the long run. So moral of the story, just take that constructive criticism where you can. I know circumstances will be different in each situation and case, but the ones that they're genuine and they were being genuine with you, those are the ones that you really want to hold on to those lessons, and you really want to take those ones to heart, because those ones are what helps you grow and what helps you learn and what makes you a stronger, better nail tech. And it also helps you understand how to handle those situations a little bit better as well. So that is my story for today. I hope it helps at least one person out there. And if you have any questions, please just leave me a comment in the comment section if you enjoyed this video and this set of nails that I did. Also, please like this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not. Help me reach my goal of 500. And I want to get to 500 by the end of this year, which I think is totally possible. And if you're not already, hit that bell button so you can get that notifications. And here is this beautiful set. How freaking cute! Thanks, guys.